Thank you for joining us with the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living's meditation practice on this beautiful Sunday morning. I'm Barbara Kane, licensed spiritual practitioner with the Centers for Spiritual Living. And this morning, our meditation will start with a reading from 365 Ernest Holmes, and then we'll have silent meditation for about 15 minutes. There'll be a musical background, and then I'll end with a reading. So just take a few deep breaths and get yourself settled in your chair or your bed, on the floor, wherever it is that your being is right now, and feel the release of the tension from whatever you've been doing, whether it's driving, running, eating, whatever, and just be in the moment with us today. Today's reading, I am radiant with the health of God. Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily. From the book of Isaiah. Whatever we identify ourselves with, we tend to become. Whatever we think about gradually becomes a subconscious pattern, always tending to manifest itself in our experience. Therefore, we should endeavor to identify our physical bodies with the spiritual reality that is the very substance and essence of the physical being. We do not deny the physical body, but rather affirm that every organ and action and function of the body is radiant with the perfection of God. There's an inner life of complete perfection that exists at the center of everything. Otherwise, nothing could be. We should identify ourselves with this perfect pattern of our being, claiming its reality in our experience, and continuously knowing that we are animated by the living Spirit. Today I identify my body with the action of God and the radiant life of the divine being. And now we'll go into silent meditation. Today, I identify my physical body with my spiritual body, claiming that they are one and the same. Therefore, I see that every organ, every action, and every function of my body belongs to the rhythm of life, is a part of the radiant presence of the living Spirit. There is one divine circulation flowing through everything, flowing through me right now. There is one infinite rhythm at the center of everything. I am a part of this perfect whole. There is a perfect circulation, perfect assimilation, and perfect elimination. There is perfection in every part of my being, and wholeness and completeness. This physical body is a temple of the living Spirit that animates it, sustains it, rebuilds it after the image of its own perfection, and keeps it in perfect health, in perfect harmony, and in perfect wholeness. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning. And please come back and be with us at 10:15 for our regular service. Enjoy your perfect wholeness today. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Woo, yes. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living and our Sunday morning celebration service. We're so grateful that you have joined us here at 4 Points by Sheridan, or perhaps you've invited us into your homes through the power of live streaming. It is a good God day, and we're glad to be here. So thank you all so very much. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the honor and privilege of being this community's spiritual director. This Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that honors all paths and promotes global transformation through personal transformation. We're a spiritual community that can support you as you strive to experience a deep and abiding relationship with the divine. A spiritual community where you are respected and accepted just the way you are. A space and place for inspiration, insight, and revelation, as well as loving support as you grow and evolve into your highest and best self. You are welcome here no matter where you are on your spiritual path. We are part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. And Centers for Spiritual Living is a global community of over 450 centers, teaching chapters, and focus ministries in over 30 countries across the globe. Centers for Spiritual Living is a practical and positive philosophy, faith, and way of life that is dedicated to transforming lives by providing powerful spiritual principles and practices for our individual lives and for exploring new possibilities to assist the world to become a world that works for all, which just happens to be our global vision. So once again, thank you all so very, very much for being here today. In this moment, I would like everyone to take a moment to say a silent prayer for Mr. Trump and his family, and for all of those affected in yesterday's senseless act in Pennsylvania. Please take a moment to affirm that all political candidates and their families deserve not to fear for their lives as they seek our votes or to exercise their right to political freedom. Please take a moment to declare yourself to be a space and place of peace, kindness, respect, and love in your own lives in order to add to the experience of peace, kindness, respect, and love in the world. We all need to come powerfully together to promote a world that actually does work for all. Thank you all so very much. I would now like to thank Barbara Kane for her beautiful meditation that expanded the space and container that our service will unfold within. So thank you very much, Babs. And now please stand and join me as we sing our opening congregational song, You and Me by Eddie Watkins, Jr.
Shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy, I just want to shout. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, inside out. I'm so happy. I just wanna shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, truly, this is the day the Spirit has made. We've got to rejoice and be glad in it. All right, we're dragging a little bit, but we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right, right? Okay, let's get in the know. Our Wednesday evening services throughout 2024 are called Beyond Sunday. Please join us at 7 on Zoom. The link is available on our Wednesday newsletter or on our website. During the month of July, you are invited to join us as we explore the gifts of Brené Brown's book, The Gifts of Imperfection. This book is an invitation to join a wholehearted revolution, a small, quiet grassroots movement that starts with each of us saying, "My story matters because I matter." A movement where we can live our messy, heartbreaking, grace-filled, and joyful lives out loud. Yeah. Revolution might sound a little dramatic, but in this world, choosing authenticity and worthiness is an absolute act of resistance. Marianne Atwell Hardy, RSCP, and Heather Abbott, RSCP, will facilitate the conversation. Although reading the book is not required, I encourage you to consider checking it out.
And I'm excited to announce our annual friend and fundraiser, Gourmets for God. Gourmets for God is a unique community builder and fundraiser for our center. Currently, we're accepting hosts and events. The events are created and hosted by TCSL people and can be simple or elaborate. Hosts can sponsor more than one event or pair up with a co-host to offer a distinctive event. Please complete a separate host registration form for each event. We have extended the host registration time, however, it will be closing Sunday, July 14th, which is today. We will then facilitate electronic silent auction. The silent auction begins on Sunday, July 21st and ends on Sunday, August 18th. Anyone could bid, and there is no limit on how many events you can bid for, and you do not need to be a Triangle Center for Spiritual Living member to participate. Events happen from September 1st through November 17th. Remember that this is our most important annual fundraiser. Please consider hosting an event and submit your registration as soon as possible. If you have any questions, please contact Heather.
Okay. And number 3, this is an announcement and an invitation to purchase your tickets for a very special house concert. Bob Seema and Shannon Plummer will be here in concert on Friday, July 26th. The concert is being hosted by Miles and Letha Costin and will be held at their house on Pleasant Union Church Road in Raleigh. Doors open at 7 p.m. with the concert from 7:30 to 9. Tickets are required and are $30 for a single ticket and $50 for a pair. Snacks and non-alcoholic beverages will be available. Bring your own adult beverage. The concert is called Consciousness in Concert. Bob's music bridges daily, life, and social consciousness through instantly accessible songs that take up residence in your soul. Shannon's harmonies are so perfectly tuned to Bob's voice that it is as if there is one voice coming from the stage. They bring a catalog of original music and 2 powerful voices that can bring any community or gathering closer together in one sitting. There's a QR code here on the screen or on the table outside of the sanctuary that you can use to obtain tickets. The code also came out as a constant contact last week. If you receive our Wednesday newsletter, look in your inbox. I strongly encourage everyone to attend this concert. You will be very glad you did.
And the last announcement. This is our first announcement for our annual Durham Bulls game outing. We have 20 tickets for the game on Friday evening, August 30th, although I will say, I don't think we have 20 left, do we? 10. We have 10 left now. So we have 10 tickets for the game on Friday, August 30th, and we'll be accepting the first 10 people who call, text, or email Heather Abbott. It's a very fun evening filled with fellowship, a great game, wonderful seats, and the most amazing fireworks you've ever seen. So hopefully you'll come out and join us, because our family is going. We took up 5 of those tickets.
Right. So
Thank you.
thank you, everybody. Okay.
Oops. Awesome, Sean and Larry. Thank you so much. I'm asking because a family member tested positive. So, but lives on a separate floor, so, but anyway. I do invite everybody to sign up for the Gourmets for God. It is so much fun. And I've been sitting on a couple of ideas for my Gourmets for God. But, you have to wait till that inspiration is just right. But just saying, we're probably going to have a Victorian Christmas dinner one and some sort of a fall crafts decorating one. That's what's in the works right now. Okay, back to my job here, which is the theme for 2024 is a grand rising. Our theme for the month of July is Practice Makes Perfect. Reverend Dusty's message is leaning into imperfection. I'm now going to read this community's purpose statement. This is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. And now I invite you all to close your outer eyes if you're comfortable, turn within and open your heart and mind, and allow the sounds of the crystal bowls to wash over you. blessing of all faiths. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths as represented by this ceremony. Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love, and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principle of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere with no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you, Carol and Rebecca. And now I invite you all to close your outer eyes as I speak a blessing on the service. So here we are in the presence of the one infinite love, the one infinite life, which is God itself. Spirit, harmony, nature, joy, creativity, abundance, power. We are all one with this. And as I know that this is true for me, I know that it is true for this Triangle Spiritual Living in our service this morning. And I know that these qualities of God will speak to each and every one of us in the way that is most perfect for us. And so I speak a blessing on all the wonderful volunteers this morning who have come forth to set the stage for us. Matthew and Heather with the AV, Heather who does everything that Dusty doesn't do. Reverend Dusty with her beautiful gift of the love and intelligence that she is. I'm getting myself choked up. I gotta stop. Cindy Johnson for her beautiful gift of song and light. And the congregation of the Triangle Spiritual Living. I speak a blessing on us all, knowing that we are in the right and perfect place. And I'm grateful that this is so. And so it is. Our reading for today is from The Guest House by Rumi. He says, "This being human is a guest house, every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, and still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. And so it is. And now let me introduce our wonderful songstress, beautiful and creative Cindy Johnson.
Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me, and every step is holy. Holy, holy. Everyone, every breath, every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me that every step is holy, 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 holy. Everyone, every breath, every step is holy. Every step is holy.
And as always, the right and perfect one for today's message. So last Sunday, Reverend KC described themselves as a recovering perfectionist. So I too am going to admit to this. And as a recovering perfectionist, I am acutely aware of how pervasive this idea of perfectionism is in our lives. How it can make our experience chaotic or demanding or less than joy-filled. I am acutely aware of this because this is a belief that I created for myself out of a story in my childhood. So I was approximately 5 years old. And at the time, my 2 younger brothers and I spent a lot of time with our mom, who was a stay-at-home mother, right? This is the 50s. Don't do the math. Now, I can remember, especially during the really cold months, after being with her and each other throughout the whole day, that we could be quite wound up by the end of it. And my dad would come home from a long day at work just really wanting to have a little bit of peace and quiet. And the house that he walked into was anything but that. And so I remember that he would say things to us like, "Stop doing what you're doing. Stop behaving like this because you're going to drive your mother crazy." And when my mom suffered a nervous breakdown and had to go away from the family for a period of time, I thought I had done just that. I thought that I had caused that behavior, my brothers and I, had caused that nervous breakdown. And so I vowed, I told myself in that moment that I was going to be a perfect little girl, a perfect daughter, a perfect sister, a perfect friend, a perfect classmate, a perfect whatever, fill in the blank. And I did that because I did not want the people that I loved to have to go away from me, because that felt like an eternity when she was gone, to a 5-year-old. Now, this idea, this belief, this mandate that I created for myself and for my life really ruled my behavior and my choices and my sense of self-worth for probably over the next, 40 years. Or perhaps you don't recognize yourself in something like that happened like that quickly. Like I can remember that moment in time. Perhaps it happened over time for other people. Most of us were born into a culture or a race or a class or a family which had certain ideas about who we were, certain ideas about how we should behave, certain ideas about what we should believe, and certain ideas about what our lives should look like, not only right then, but in the future, right? Ideas that as we grew up, we began to embody them and to take them in as our own, and they became our go-to thought patterns. And then ultimately they became our beliefs, and probably, as they did for me, they informed your behaviors and your choices and your sense of self-esteem. Perhaps some of us were indoctrinated within a family tradition that instilled the belief within us that we were born in original sin, that we were flawed from the get-go, from the moment that we arrived on the planet, and then we spent the rest of our lives, or are still spending our lives, really trying to make up for that. Trying to make something out of that which was born imperfect, born flawed. Now, out of that confusion, we attempted to take all of these distorted images that we had coming to us, whether our own stories or the stories of everybody else in our lives, and to make some sense of them. We began to create an idea or an image of ourselves and our lives, which continues to be informed by the outside world today. We don't have to look very far, or we don't have to look very hard to see that we are constantly bombarded with images of perfection. Whether that's from social media or from advertising or from our friends or from our families, from whomever, we are told that we need to be flawless in order to be successful or in order to be loved. Now, over those 40 years, I really tried really hard to be perfect in every situation, in every circumstance that I encountered, in every relationship that I was in, and as you can imagine, that was impossible. Impossible. Perfect by whose standards? Really? Perfect for whom or for which person whenever I was in a room that was filled with a whole bunch of people that were important to me, that mattered to me, whose opinions I took into account, right? How could I choose? How could I be perfect for all of them when I didn't even know what perfect was, or capable of being perfect in all of the ways that everybody needed me to be perfect? And perfect when I absolutely knew I wasn't. Despite the fact that my life seemed to be going really pretty well, I had a good life, I was walking on eggshells all of the time. And in some quicksand, right, of my own making. And extremely unhappy. But the truth is, perfection is an unattainable goal. It's an unattainable ideal. Everyone has flaws and everyone has imperfections. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. We don't need to be perfect in order to be worthy of love and respect. We were born worthy of love and respect. So how can we, if I'm talking about any of you, or talking about somebody you know, then how can we stop looking to the external world and its views of perfection and worthiness to inform us who we are to be? How can we stop the voice, right, that voice that nags us to continue to tinker with ourselves and our lives? I can get a little closer, I just know it. How can we let loose our need to express the qualities that we're praised for and to suppress or repress the qualities that we're criticized for in order that people will like us? How can we genuinely step into self-love and self-respect and self-appreciation and self-acceptance? My talk title today is Leaning into Imperfection. And the invitation is to cultivate a deep and abiding awareness that our flaws and our imperfections are part of what makes us unique. They're part of what makes us special. This awareness can happen, over time. It can happen at any time in a very unlimited amount of ways. Now, and there'll be, how we get to this point, how we discover this, how we have that aha moment is going to be different for everyone on their own path. Now, for me, it happened in what I would call a numinous experience. I was not raised really in any kind of faith tradition, My mom believed in the golden rule, and that's pretty good religion if you're going to have only one. But I didn't have any experience of God, right? But in that moment, in that aha moment that I experienced God. And it happened in a moment of despair for me. It happened in a moment of utter loneliness. And it happened in a moment of surrender, although in that moment I didn't have that kind of language for what I was feeling. But in that moment, I knew that while I was living a life that for all practical purposes looked to be pretty good from the outside, that I was living with a big, deep, dark hole in the center of my being. And that I kept trying to fill that from the outside in. Fill it with other people's opinions and external ideas about who I should be and how I could be more perfect, right? In that moment, I felt, and I knew that there was so much more to me and my life than I could ever imagine. I knew that there was something bigger and grander that I had never experienced before. I just knew it. In that moment, I had no idea really what that all meant or how to step into that life. I only knew that there was something within me that was seeking to find that, to experience that, to bring that into my life in a really powerful way. And I knew it because in that moment, I experienced a level of peace than I had never felt before. Letting go of my belief that I had to be perfect and leaning into my imperfections didn't happen in that moment magically. It didn't just shift for me, but I began my spiritual journey. And that made all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world to me. And it took time to really shift that and to be able to say, I'm recovering. In order to lean into our imperfections and embrace ourselves fully, I have 3 ideas for us this morning. And the first is oneness. We talk about oneness here all of the time, right? But it's that important. Cindy's saying about it. Oneness. And from the perspective of oneness, we really understand that everything, and I mean everything, is divine. Everything is holy. Everything. There is no place where God is not. So everything is holy. It encompasses all of the diverse expressions of God that there are, including our imperfections. Everything in existence, including what we perceive as flaws, is holy. As spiritual beings, we were created by God, out of God itself. So if God is whole, perfect, and complete, then we are whole, perfect, and complete. We lack nothing. As human beings, we are here with a purpose. And that purpose is to become more of our authentic selves. To grow and expand and really reveal ever more of the essence of God that is within each and every single one of us. Living from that place really allows us to be able to recognize that everything we need is already within us, that we don't need to be saved or completed or made perfect by someone or something outside of ourselves. There is something within each of us that is our authentic self, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the world or its idea of perfection. Absolutely nothing. When we operate from this authentic self, we truly know that we are more than just human beings. We are spiritual beings having a human incarnation. The second idea is wholeness. Wholeness. Now, the invitation here is to embrace imperfection as an essential aspect of our being. God encompasses everything, the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, the up and the down. And so everything within us is similar in that idea of wholeness. Rumi said, invite everyone in. They're all here for us, for our growth, for our evolution, right? Imperfections are not shortcomings, but rather valuable components that add depth and meaning to life itself. By celebrating the variety and the breadth of human experience, we develop a greater appreciation for the intricacies and the complexities of our existence. Through this lens, imperfections become threads that weave together a tapestry of beauty. Takes everything for that. Through this lens, we're reminded of the infinite possibilities that unfold when we release the constraints of perfectionism. It holds us back. It ties us down. Leaning into and embracing our imperfections allows us to honor our interconnectedness and recognize that our flaws are part of a greater, grander symphony of creation. We are expressions of the divine intricately woven into the fabric of existence. Each and every one of us, each and every aspect of ourselves is important to the whole, or we wouldn't be here. We just wouldn't be here. Through the lens of wholeness, we recognize that each individual is a unique expression that contributes to the whole divine tapestry. By shifting our perception of ourselves, of our lives, of each other, by shifting our perception and leading into imperfection, we open ourselves to that world of possibilities. We open ourselves to be able to cultivate self-acceptance and a deeper connection to the divine presence that is within us and surrounding us. Rachel Naomi Remen tells a story in her book entitled Kitchen Table Wisdom. And it's a story that I've told before. However, it's the right and perfect story to be telling, to emphasize this point about wholeness. Some of you, if you've heard it before, might think it's imperfect. But this is, are you picking up what I'm laying down? Perfectly imperfect. So the story goes that throughout her childhood, her family would always have a big jigsaw puzzle that was on a table in their living room that was constantly being worked on. And her dad bought the very first jigsaw puzzle for her mom for her birthday. And from that very first jigsaw puzzle on, he would always take the box cover and hide it, because he felt like that was part of the whole experience, was to be able to make the picture, to do the puzzle without knowing what the picture was ahead of time. Now, family members, would come, and friends and other people that would visit would come, and they would work on this puzzle all the time. When her father bought the first puzzle, Rachel was only 3 or 4 years old, and she wasn't really told the whole story or the rules or, how you exactly played this game. She only knew that she saw everybody getting up there and playing with all these little pieces, and she wanted to be able to play. So one day, there was nobody else in the room, so she climbed up on one of the chairs, and she was looking at all of those puzzle pieces all spread out on that table. And she saw and noticed that there were some of them that she really, really liked. And there were some of them that she did not like at all. And so she gathered up a whole bunch of the ones that she didn't like, and she climbed down from the chair, and she stuffed all those pieces underneath the cushion of the sofa. Periodically, over the next couple of weeks, she did the exact same thing, again and again and again. Till finally her mother was like, well, this is so weird. This is taking so long for this puzzle to get put together. She counted the pieces and realized that there were 100 of them that were missing. And so she asked Rachel about it. And Rachel confessed and told her what she had done with all of the pieces that she didn't like, and she showed him where they were underneath the cushion of the sofa. And so her mom rescued all of these different pieces and put them back up on the table, and everybody put the puzzle together. Now, about this moment, Rachel says, I remember watching her do this. As piece after piece was put in place and the picture emerged, I was astounded. I had not known that there would be a picture. It was quite beautiful, a peaceful scene of a deserted beach. And without the pieces I had hidden, the game made no sense. Perhaps winning requires that we love the game unconditionally. Life provides all of the pieces. When I accepted certain parts of life and denied or ignored the rest, I could only see my life a piece at a time. The happiness of a success or a time of celebration, or the ugliness and pain of a loss or failure I was trying hard to put behind me out of sight or underneath a cushion. But like the dark pieces of the puzzle, those sadder events, painful as they are, have proven themselves to be a part of something larger. What brief glimpses I have had of something hidden seem to require accepting as a gift every last piece. Accepting as a gift every last piece, as Rumi said in the guest house. The third idea is embracing imperfection, shifting perception, and expanding possibilities. Now, within this idea, the invitation is for each of us to embody the transformative power of shifting our perception and embracing imperfection as a catalyst for personal growth and spiritual growth. The invitation is to explore the profound possibilities that arise as we recognize that everything in existence, including what we perceive as flaws, is divinely perfect. Divinely perfect. By leaning into imperfection, we open ourselves up to this world of possibilities, new experiences, new perceptions, and we cultivate self-acceptance and a deeper connection to the divine presence, right? Both Aristotle and Thomas Aquinas said that one aspect of perfection is when a thing perfectly serves its purpose. When a thing perfectly serves its purpose. And I have another story to speak to that. An elderly Chinese woman had 2 pots that she carried on a long stick across her shoulders, one on either side. She used this pole and these 2 pots to go and get water from the river and bring them back to the house. Now, one of the pots had a crack in it, while the other pot was perfect and always delivered a full portion of water. At the end of the long walks from the stream to the house, the cracked pot would really arrive with only half of a pot of water. Of course, the perfect pot was proud of its accomplishments. But the cracked pot was ashamed of its own imperfections and miserable that it could only do half of what it had been made to do. You think it's crazy to anthropomorphize your animals, your pets? A pot having emotions? Anyway, I digress. After 2 years of what it perceived to be bitter failure, it spoke to the woman one day down by the stream. I'm ashamed of myself because this crack in my side causes water to leak out all the way back to your house. I only arrive with the pot half full. The old woman smiled and said, "Did you notice that there are flowers on your side of the path, but not on the other pot's side? That's because I've always known about your flaw. So I planted flower seeds on your side of the path, and every day while we walk, you water them. For 2 years, I have been able to pick these beautiful flowers to decorate the table. Without your being just the way that you are, there would not be this beauty to grace this house. Each and every single one of us is perfect just the way we are. Even in our imperfection, we are perfect. So the invitation this week is to look for places in our lives where our imperfections are asking us to shift our perception, about ourselves and our lives, where our imperfections are asking us to embrace diversity and uniqueness. Because if we can't embrace it in ourselves, how can we embrace it in each other? And we'll never create a world that works for everyone if we can't embrace it in each other. Where our imperfections are asking us to really step powerfully into our own spiritual growth and evolution. The invitation is to give ourselves the permission and the freedom to create our lives without the pressure of having to be perfect. Aren't you tired of walking on eggshells all the time? Aren't you tired of being worried about who you are and not being able to express your unique self and to live out loud? I know I was. I made different choices for myself. Looked at the way I was looking at myself and decided something different. And I know, I absolutely guarantee that each and every single one of us will be very glad that we did the same. And so it is. And so it is. So I just invite everyone to close your outer eyes, turn away from that world of form, to really literally turn our backs on it, metaphorically, to turn our attention inward to that center of our being, to that space and place that I call God, to that divine light that is in each and every single one of us, to that place that absolutely knows that we are perfect exactly the way we are. To that place that knows that we need nothing outside of ourselves, that we don't need to be fixed or completed, that we are already whole, perfect, and complete. I know that I am one with that place, that I can never be separate from it. And just as I know this to be my truth, I know that it is absolutely the truth of each and every person sitting here today, each and every person that has invited us into your homes, all sentient beings on the planet. We are all divine emanations of the One, here on purpose, to bring all that we are, our perfections and our imperfections, to the world, because we are unique, because we are special. There is no one on the planet exactly like us, so if we don't bring ourselves, who will? And it's from that place of unity that I speak these words about and for each of us today, truly knowing that we are spiritual beings having a human incarnation, that we are here to bring our full and whole selves, that we, in our oneness, can know our perfection, can know that our imperfections are perfect, and to know who we are, to have that self-respect, that self-acceptance, that ability to stand powerfully in our own skin. To know that as we see the wholeness within us, that each and every aspect of ourselves, each and every aspect of our lives is important to the whole, and that we allow ourselves to bring that to the world. To know that there is something special about our imperfections, and like that pot with the crack in it, can take advantage of those. Sometimes our mess is our ministry. And sharing who we are, the allness of who we are, allows others to do the same. And as we do so, everyone can feel heard, everyone can feel known, everyone can feel welcome, everyone can feel like they belong. And we will together create a world that works for all. And I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes, that my words are clothed in form even as they are spoken. And so I speak them and I release them into that law, letting go and letting God be God. And I invite each of us to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world simply by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Amen. Thank you all so very much. It is now time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. And this is a time every week when we offer financial support to our community so that we can continue to be a beacon of light and love and warmth in the Greater Triangle area for ourselves and for each other. Together we affirm the truth that today's offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and contributes to the experience of sufficiency in the world. There are several ways that you can give, and they're here on the screen or on your screens at home. Number one, visit our website at trianglecsl.org. Number two, text the word GIVE to the following number, 919-629-9148, or you can mail a check to our address, PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina, 27519. In this moment, I invite everyone to please place your hand over your heart with your gift or with an affirmation for yourself or someone else, and repeat our offering affirmation in a call and response. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I give with gratitude, knowing that God is my source. And so it is. So it is. Thank you all so very much for your generosity. And now let's please be generous with our applause for our wonderful songstress today, Cindy Johnson.
When I watch the news, it makes me cry for all of the anger I see. So many souls believing the lie that hatred is all they can be. So I take the chance to offer my prayer, to whisper the truth. And I believe today is the day that my message gets through, that we are all children of the God of love. We are all meant to be instruments of peace. There's no us or them, foe or friend. We are all the same, 'cause there is only one, 'cause everyone is born with God's name. So the question becomes, where do we start? How do we heal so much pain? The answer is clear. We open our hearts and let love wash away every stain. 'Cause peace in our time begins with a smile, with one open hand. And when we teach by example, the world is sure to understand that we are all children of the God of love. We are all meant to be instruments of peace. There's no us or them, foe or friend. We are all the same. There is only one, 'cause everyone is born with God's name. Sometimes it seems so useless to try, so futile to dream. But remember, the power of creation lies in what we believe. And we are all children of the God of love. We are all meant to be instruments of peace. There's no us or them, foe or friend. We are all the same. There is only one, 'cause everyone is born with God's name. Everyone is born with God's name. Thank you.
It was really beautiful. Thank you. Now I invite you to bring your attention to this announcement. If anyone would like prayer, please go to our website at trianglecsl.org. On the home page, there's a button in the upper right-hand corner. Click that button and fill in the request form. We will get your request and send it out to the ministers and practitioners and expect a healing, a miracle, a transformation in your lives. Secondly, if anyone would like to dedicate a flower dedication to anyone for anything, please contact Heather Abbott at info@trianglecsl.org or Reverend Dusty at dustyrippelmeyer@yahoo.com. Now, in the comfort of your home or here, please stand for our July affirmation. This is a call and response, and please repeat it with meaning. Today, I embrace the beauty of my divine imperfections.
Today, I embrace the beauty of my divine imperfections.
As I do so, I discover the profound possibilities, cultivate self-acceptance, and open myself to limitless growth.
As I do so, I discover profound possibilities, cultivate self-acceptance, and open myself to limitless growth.
Today, I embrace imperfection as a natural part of the human experience.
Today, I embrace imperfection as a natural part of the human experience.
As I do so, I am better equipped to navigate the inevitable bumps in the road.
As I do so, I am better equipped to navigate the inevitable bumps.
It's a tongue twister. Today, I embrace imperfection as a transformative shift in perspective.
Today, I embrace imperfection as a transformative shift in perspective.
As I do so, I am aware that the path to spiritual and personal evolution lies not in the pursuit of perfection, but in the recognition and celebration of my imperfections.
As I do so, I am aware that the path to spiritual and personal evolution lies not in the pursuit of perfection, but in the recognition and celebration of my imperfections.
Today, I embrace imperfection and accept all of myself.
Today, I embrace imperfection and accept all of myself.
As I do so, I create a vibrant and expansive experience of life that reflects my inherent beauty and potential.
As I do so, I create a vibrant and expansive experience of life that reflects my inherent beauty and potential.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen. And now I invite you to once again have a seat, close your outer eyes if you're comfortable, and I will say a benediction. So what an awesome and beautiful service, recognizing that we are absolutely perfect just as we are. And I know that as we continue to recognize the truth of the God, Spirit, power, love within us, that we come to love even more the knowledge that all is in divine right order, right here and right now, and that it opens up a vista for us to pursue those fabulous inspirations and dreams that come to us now and in every moment. And so I'm grateful for the knowledge that this is the truth of who and what I am, that it is the truth of who we are as a community here at the Center for Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, and that we are part of what makes this world a beautiful place to live, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you to all the volunteers, and to Cindy, and to Babs, to Matthew, to Heather, and to all of you for being here. Have a really wonderful week. I love you all, and we'll see you soon.